we're going to be talking about last night's debate and of course, the role the media has played in this campaign.
There are different people that each candidate is talking to. And so I think Donald Trump, for the people who like Donald Trump, they loved what he did last night because he got in there, he made all the sort of points he made, he didn't back down on the birther stuff. He was really tough on Hillary Clinton. So I think he did well for his people. I think Hillary Clinton sort of was trying to go after people who are a little more in the middle and make sure they knew that she was a plausible presidential candidate, and she did well on that front. So in that sense, I think they sort of shot past each other, and that's why I would call it a wash.
Anytime you're talking about a change candidate, there's risk that comes with change. And I think voters have to make the decision, are you willing to take the risk in order to get the change? Now, he was saying this as a good thing for Donald Trump, right? That Donald Trump proved that he's worth the risk. I don't know that Donald Trump proved that he was worth the risk.
That's the whole question.
I may come to a different conclusion than Chairman Priebus, but I thought that framing was correct. I mean, an analogy that I've used is he's the experimental drug. And if you've been sick for a long time, maybe you're okay with the weird side effects because it's just time to try something different.
I think it's reasonable for Hillary Clinton to expect to do as well as previous Democratic nominees, and maybe even a little bit better. But if the theory of the case here is that all she needs to do is replicate President Obama's two electoral coalitions, they are always going to be frustrated and and grasping at something that I think is very, very hard to attain.
But even Bill Clinton, who won, couldn't win 50% of the vote. I think what Democrats say is we've now seen a modern model about how to win an election. Perhaps we should try to replicate it.
I think we have to reckon with this. Isn't about the 2016 campaign. This is about decades of frittering away the trust of the American public. As we felt the economic strain, and we played very fast and loose with the trust of the American public and allowed politicians to capitalize and allowed politicians to denigrate our credibility. And we and the society are paying the price at this point with a campaign that is effectively a sporting event or a reality show brought to us under the guise of politics.
How does anything they're talking about make my kids' education better? How does anything they're talking about make my health care more affordable? How does anything they're talking about make me safer, make my job more secure, make my life more fulfilling? I think we never, folks here in the advertising world, you need to connect the benefit of a product to some kind of higher value, something that taps into the emotions of a consumer. Politics, we are so terrible about doing that when it comes to policy as a product.
I think they're still using a 1990s model in a modern media world. They don't really know how to translate this message. And I think Barack Obama had trouble with that as well, to really distill and synthesize what he was doing and why it mattered. And he's one of the best public speakers on the planet.
Yeah. The reason you don't hear a spirited, strong debate in a forum like last night about the transformation of technological society is that the answers aren't pleasing. They're not very comforting. They require a lot of displacement. They require a lot of difficult choices. They require, in some cases,
realities.
In some cases, I think, to say to Americans, there's nothing to be done for you, but we got to worry about your kids. No politician wants to say that, particularly in an environment where you go and get the news that affirms your worldview, and anything that's said gets distorted, beat up, and used and exploited.
And when people want instant gratification. Thank you all for listening.